on, you guys? My name is Rage and I am back today with another video for you all. In today's video, it's gonna be part one of a new series I'm looking to build here in terms of being able to provide more insight and guidance for newer players and beginners of Marvel Strike Force. So this is gonna be part one. I'm gonna walk through and talk about characters that you should be keeping an eye out for in terms of when you start the game initially. I'm gonna analyze the campaign notes here for the first 3 chapters for most of them. The exceptions can obviously be Mystic Forces and Doom War, just because they are unlocked later on in the game. But hopefully this video is able to give you guys insight in terms of characters you should be keeping an eye out for, what they can bring ultimately in the mid to late game, as well as how much you should be investing in them, especially if you can see how strong and how much resources I've put into these characters. So let's dive right in. First and foremost, you guys, Captain America, he's found in Heroes 3.6 as well as Nexus 1.3. And just a reminder here, Nexus does unlock after completing Villains Chapter 3. So again, I'm going to be focusing on the 3-4 first chapters of each campaign, just to kind of give a sense, as well as break down the video for the next few parts. But Captain America, very, very great character overall. As you can see here, I have built him quite a bit. Main reason for him, high level view, is the fact that he provides energies to his Avengers team. And with the rework now, he does get quite a bit of block amount to be able to provide his team with sustain and be able to taunt, take away damage, and providing energy. So if you guys can invest in him from an early term, he is going to provide value because he's a hero character as well as global. So you're going to be able to utilize him in both the Heroes campaign as well as the Nexus. So moving forward then, we have Groot here as well. Groot, very, very significant piece here, you guys, especially if you're looking to unlock the legendary Star-Lord. With Groot, he is found actually in Nexus 2.9 here, and with Groot here, he does unlock the Nexus campaign. Like I said, unlocks after Villains Chapter 3, but getting him at 2.9 is still quite early in the game. In addition, being one of those pivotal pieces in terms of unlocking Star-Lord, he's really great because he synergizes really good with Rocket Raccoon. He provides benefits to his team, especially when he dies. He's actually able to provide them with a lot of benefit. His passive here, when he does die, he has a chance to revive, but also he's able to apply all these benefits too. So just keep that in mind, you guys. He applies defense up. He can cleanse, really good character overall for sustain, especially when you're building that Guardians of the Galaxy team, especially in terms of unlocking a legendary. Next, we have Hawkeye here, one of the few characters that are found so early in the game and provides a lot of value in the late game as well. Hawkeye found in Heroes 1.9, and the really big thing for Hawkeye is that after his rework with the Avengers, the Avengers team has been much more respectable. He's able to actually blind and bleed now with his abilities. In addition, if you guys have seen my earlier videos with the minimum guides, I definitely utilize Hawkeye in parts of both my Heroes 7 Chapter 7 campaign, in addition to the Doom Part 1. So a character that's utilized in the late game, and as you can see here, didn't build him up too high, but this is the amount of time you can invest in him, and additionally he does provide a lot of late game value later on. So absolute big investment, especially building that Avengers team to provide balance for your roster. Next, we do have Yondu here. Yondu, he's actually found quite early in the game as well. Heroes 2.6, and with Yondu, again, mentioning earlier with my Groot, he's going to be formulating a part of the 5-man roster to be able to unlock Star-Lord. He's also part of the Cosmic Mystic characters here classification, so you can use Yondu actually in both Mystic and Cosmic campaigns, which is absolutely big because, with those campaign nodes, you're going to need those characters, and he's going to be able to slot in. He provides damage. I also utilize Yondu as part of locking later on Thanos, and ultimately being as part of the Hela nodes too. So Yondu is really great for sustainability in terms of being able to bring up those targets that he can divert damage. In addition, he also provides really good AoE DPS, especially with his ultimate passive. As you can see here, didn't build him up too much because you don't really need him too powerful to complete the campaign nodes, but hopefully this gives you guys a reference. Mysterio here. Now this is a limited time thing. I do like the addition of Mysterio. I don't utilize him too much, as you can see here from how much I've invested in him, but a key part because he formulates part of the both Spider-Verse classification and as well as the Sinister Six. So he can be formulated in terms of both unlocking both Invisible Woman and Shuri Legendary. And as you can see here, you don't need to build him up too high to do that, right? So fortunately with the Doom reworks right now, Mysterio is actually available in Heroes 2.3. So he's available right now, being able to be farmable. Normally he's in the raid store, so this way you can actually just save up on the raid shard credits And who I also want to talk about as well for synergizing is also Black Widow. Synergizes really well with Hawkeye in terms of the Avengers synergy, but Black Widow now, especially her being unlocked in Villains quite early, very, very good character. I believe she's in Villains 1-9 here. Just being able to, have access to her early in the game, working hand in hand with Hawkeye. Additionally, if you guys watch my earlier videos, like I said, on the Heroes and Doom campaign, I utilize Black Widow as well as part of unlocking them. So you're going to see that she has value in the late game as well. You can build her up a bit. As you can see, the 34k just about here was good enough for me to work through both Hero 7 as well as the Doom Chapter 1. That covers all really the first three chapters here for first 3 to 4 chapters of each of those campaigns. Let's go ahead now and talk about the actual stores here that I recommend. We're looking at the Blitz store here. This is probably going to be the store that you're going to have the most readily available resource, especially when you're beginning in the game. And the characters I do recommend here is going to be Spider-Man Miles Morales. Once again, he's going to be able to synergize well in terms of being that Spider-Verse for unlocking Shuri. In addition, he's just actually part of the new Young Avengers team, so I haven't tested that to its full potential yet, but he's part of multiple teams, which is really nice. In addition, let's talk about Rhino now. Rhino is going to be really good in terms of being able to actually be part of, once again, that Sinister Six in terms of both unlocking both Shuri as well as Invisible Woman. He's going to be the tank for the Sinister Six. Like I said, the Blitz store is going to give you guys lots of access to these guys, so it's really good to take access to them early because they can help you formulate a game and strategy in terms of unlocking legendaries early in the game. Gamora is another good one here for DPS for Guardians of the Galaxy team, especially when you need that 5-man roster for Star-Lord. And last but not least, I believe also Mantis is here as well. There we go. Mantis, sustainability for the Guardians of the Galaxy team. So you can see four characters here are really good in terms of farming. To be honest with you, I don't recommend Spider-Man, even though Spider-Man is part of the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man just doesn't really have a place in the game right now, so that's why if you guys have to use your limited resources for farming characters that can help you unlock legendaries, Rhino, Miles Morales, Mantis, Gamora are the ones I would recommend from the Blitz store, just in terms of their usage and where they are right now. Next, moving on to the raid store. If you guys do have the credits here, the two I actually do recommend is actually showing right now, Thor and Mysterio. As I touched on earlier, I would recommend just saving the campaign energy in terms of just using them to farm Mysterio through there rather than using the raid credits, because raid credits are more limited. I would focus on Thor here just because Thor is a really big addition for the Asgardians team, and as you know, Asgardians can be part of unlocking Black Bolt, who is then subsequently used to unlock Ebony Maw. So if you guys can get a chance, whenever you can farm Thor, it's actually highly recommended. And what you can do also here is the raid orbs here is what I actually recommend, because you actually get 7 shards for the cost of 900 as opposed to spending 1400 for 5. So you just get a lot better value. And what you can do is you can go through the little eye here and hit the random shards to see what it can be dropped. And another character I do recommend is actually Rocket Raccoon. Once again, synergizing well with Groot, Mantis, Gamora, and Yondu, as I mentioned earlier, to unlocking Star-Lord. In addition, he provides high offensive damage. I also utilize the Guardians of the Galaxy for the later stages of, I believe, Doom Chapter 1. So, I mean, you guys can utilize that as well. So, like I said earlier, it's going to be some synergy that you can use in the late game. So, don't be afraid to invest resources early in the game, especially if you have the opportunity and potential to farm them. That leaves now the last but not least here, the arena store here, in terms of who I recommend right now, especially when you're beginning the game. Honestly, for this one, I would just recommend probably 2 characters here. It's going to be Vulture, because he's part of that Sinister Six team in terms of unlocking both Invisible Woman as well as Shuri. You can see a familiar trend here. It's going to be really unlocking the legendaries to really provide a lot of value to your team. Vulture is going to do that here. And last but not least, it's going to be Drax. I haven't really built up my Drax too much, just because, I found my combination of both, Rocket Raccoon, Groot, Yondu, Gamora, as well as Mantis. Those are the 5 that you need. So if you guys are not able to pivot much, you know, Drax is an alternative. But if you like to save your arena credits instead for other characters here, the ones I would recommend then is probably Mordo, just because Mordo is going to be a really big part of that Cosmic Mystic campaign nodes. Mordo's also going to be part of unlocking Phoenix later, and he just has a really good abilities in terms of being able to provide a lot of benefit for your team. That's who I would work on right now in terms of the early game. These other characters are more so for later. In addition, not many of them actually unlock a legendary. So there you guys have it. Hope you guys are able to get value here. I will talk about like the war store in my next video, likely, just because it is not really the focus for beginning players out there. But there you guys have it. Hope that gives you guys a sense of characters to kind of watch out for, especially when you're starting out in this game for the first 3 to 4 chapters of each campaign. Take advantage, you guys. Take advantage of farming early, because it's gonna pay dividends in the future, especially if you have a really good sense of which legendaries you want to unlock, especially with the rotational period. So thank you as always, you guys. I do appreciate you checking out my videos, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.